Okay, before we start the presentation, let's say Panganjali, Om Swastiastu. Good morning, Ms. Rizka and all of my friends. Today we are from the age group. We'll be presenting about review all the material that have discussed before. And before we start the presentation, let me to introduce ourselves. Next slide, please. Our member is consists of first,
My name is Niwayan Ratnaswari.
and my name is Nikari Unda Jumayanti.
My name is Rupita Lukaini.
Next slide, please. Okay, the first material is from the first group about language. As you can see on the slide, language is a system of communication that use spoken, written, or gesture symbol. It is crucial because it serves as a key part of cultural identity and enables people to interact, share tradition, and pass down knowledge through generation. Its language, whether English, Mandarin, Arabic, or etc., carries the history and worldview of its speaker, playing a major role in preserving culture. Uh, why we think the language is important? Because language is directly tied to our cultural identity. The way we speak, the words that we use, and the expression we choose, they all reflect how we see the world and how we understand ourselves. For example, when you hear someone speaking English, Mandarin, or any languages, you are not just hearing sound, you are hearing centuries of history, belief system, and cultural stories carried by those communities. Language also allows us to pass down tradition. Imagine trying to share a family recipe, tell folk tale, and explain your cultural custom without language, it would be almost impossible. Even more, language connect us across generation, like the grandparents teach their grandchildren through story, song, or advice. That's all using language. Without it, we would lose an important bridge between past, present, and future. So, in short, language is a tool we use not just to communicate, but to build relationship, keep our culture alive, and understand the world we live in. Maybe that's all from the first material. Second material from the second group is the knowledge system. The knowledge system refers to how societies gather, store, and transmit information. It includes both traditional knowledge, like herbal medicine and farming techniques, uh, and formal education, such as scientific discoveries. Knowledge systems are vital for survival, innovation, and adaptation, ensuring that essential skills are understanding and passed to future generations. Knowledge system basically the way a society collects, organize, store, and share information. It's not just about book or computer or etc. It's about the way people pass on important knowledge. Uh, as mentioned before, there are two main types of knowledge system. First is traditional knowledge. This knowledge based on informally, usually through generation, like the use of herbal medicine or how to predict weather by reading nature, local fishing, or farming methods. And the second is we have formal or scientific knowledge. This knowledge usually gathered through structured method like research, experiment, academic study, and it's written down in a books, journal, or database, and it's shared through school, universities, and scientific institution. And why both knowledge is important? Because they work together. For example, in agriculture, local farmers might know the best time to plant certain crops because of generation of observing the season, and the scientists can combine that local knowledge with climate data to develop better farming strategies and in the face of climate change. So a knowledge system, it's not just about having facts. It's about we preserve, we respect, and we use the knowledge to help human life improve and ensure that valuable wisdom is passed on to the next generation. Be this all the material from the first and the second group. The next material will be presenting by Ira. To Ira, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time that you given to me, Winda. So the next material is about the social organizations from third group. Okay, so social organization is the way societies arrange relationships, roles, and responsibilities among their members. It includes family structures, political system, clans, and social classes. Through social organizations, communities maintain orders, support corporations, and reinforces cultures norms, whether in small tribes, extended family, or a modern government. Social organizations refers to how a society structures the relationship and responsibilities among its people. This is include the why families are formed, how communities are led, and how roles are divided. It also including things like clans, age group, castes, and social classes. Social organizations help society function smoothly. It allows people to know what is expected of them and how they should behave in different situations. For example, in traditional African tribes, elders often have authority and make important decisions for the group. In modern societies, roles are divided more formally. For the example, as president lead the country, teacher educate the students, and police enforce the law. This system is important because it helps keep orders, teaches value, and support corporations. In Indonesia culture, for example, the Banjar system in Bali can allow people in the same neighborhood to work together in ceremonies and solve problems together, showing a clear form of social organization. For the next is about living equipment. So living equipment is refers to the tools, technologies, and materials that people use to meet their daily needs. This including the items such as clothing, cooking, tools, farming equipment, and houses. The design and the functions of living equipment often reflect a society adaptations to its environment, showing creativity from traditional stone tools to today's digital device. So, living equipment refer to the tools, materials, and technology that people use in their everyday lives. These items help people to meet the basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. For the example is like a kitchen tools and then farming tools, clothing, houses, and even smartphones or computers. For the example, in farming communities, people might use house, plows, and irrigation system to grow crops. In colder countries, people use heaters and warm clothing to survive the weathers. And today, many people around the world use smartphones like laptops and internet access as modern living equipment to work, learn, and communicate. Okay, next is material about economy and livelihood from the sixth group. Okay, economy and livelihood describe how people produce, distribute, and consume goods and service. Different societies engage in various activities like hunting, farming, trading, industry, and service work. The economy is essential for survival, prosperity, and social development, influencing the way communities grow and interact with each other. Okay, so economy and livelihood describe how people earn a living, produce goods, and accessing service. This includes all activities related to making, selling, buying, and using product or service. It also show how people meet their daily needs and support their families and communities. Different societies have different types of economic activities based on their research and cultures. In traditional societies, people often rely on hunting, fishing, gathering, or farming. In more developed areas, people might work in industries, trade, or service sectors like teaching and tourism. For example, in rural Indonesians, many people work as farmers or craft people, making products like batik or wood craftings. In coastal area, people might survive by fishing and selling seafood. And in the cities like Jakarta or Bali, many people work in office, malls, banks, and factories. All of these are part of economy and show how people use different way to support their lives. A strong and organized economy helps a country grow, reduce poverty, and create opportunities. It also encourages cooperations between different communities and even different nations through the trade and business partnership. Okay, I think that's all my explanations. The next material will deliver by my friend Intan. So for Intan, time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. So next, the material is about religions. Religion is a set of beliefs, practice, and moral codes related to the sacred or divine. It displays a central role in many cultures by offering explanation for lives, masteries, providing moral guidance, and fostering a sense of community. Religious practice including rituals, prayers, ceremonies, and festivals found in diverse traditions like Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhist, and indigenous faiths. These religions have a different beliefs and custom, but they all teach important values such as kindness, honesty, respect, and compassion. Religion often guides how people live their daily lives and how they treat others. It can influence law, tradition, art, and holiday in many societies. Even though religion may have different teaching and practice, they all aim to help people live better lives, find peace, and feel connected to something greater than themselves. In today's world, religions continues to shape people identities and bring community together through shared beliefs and celebration. Respecting different religions and understanding their rules can help promote peace and harmony among people from different backgrounds. Continue. And then about art from seven groups. Art is a form of creative expression that capture emotion, tell story, and present cultural heritage. It's come in many forms such as music, dance, painting, sculpture, and literature and architecture. Art serves not only as entertainment but also as a reflection of society, values, and experience, ranging from ancient cave painting to modern digital creations. Art is important in human life both in the past and today. From ancient cave painting to modern digital art, people had always used art to share their emotion and cultural identity. Every artwork has a message about beauty, story, social issues, or hope. Art is also a way to communicate without words. For example, a painting can show happiness, sadness, anger, or love just through colors and shape. Music cannot people from different countries, even if they speak different language. In every culture, art is used to celebrate important moments like birth, marriage, death, and story. Traditional dance or song and literature reflect the way people live and what they believe in. Art is also used in education and therapy. Children learn by singing, drawing, and playing roles.
In healthcare, art therapy helps people express themselves and heal from stress or trauma. And art is also a special part of our lives because it is make the world more beautiful, gives meaning to our experience, and help us to understand each other better. I think that's all about our presentation. So the time will back to moderator. With that time.
Okay, thank you for your attention, guys. Thank you for watching our video. We hope this presentation has provided clear insight into the cultural and social aspect we have discussed before. And if you have any question or comment, we are happy to discuss them later. Maybe that's all our presentation, and we will close this presentation with Parameswati. Om Santi 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 Om.